All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Caleb Robinson. My collaborators here are Fred Holman and Bistro Delkina, and we call this deep population. So our objective here is to create high-resolution gridded population predictions just using freely available satellite imagery. So this is a lot of what Stefano just talked about. So how do we do this? We train convolutional neural networks to directly regress the population of 1 kilometer grid cells all over the United States. So an example of how this works is this figure here over on the right. You have this 1 kilometer squared satellite imagery. You feed that into your trained model and get a population prediction. And then you do this population prediction for every kilometer squared in the entire US and get this population surface. So now the question becomes, how do you evaluate your prediction? Because we don't actually know the ground truth population at the kilometer squared level. So we're doing this 2 different ways. The first way is by aggregating our predictions up into a geography for which we do know the ground truth population, like counties. So these 2 maps here down at the bottom are how well our models are doing at predicting populations for counties in 2010. This is test data. So red areas are areas where we're overestimating the population, and blue areas are where we're underestimating the population. So this will give us an idea of how well our model is actually doing. And a second way we can test our models is by qualitatively looking at the predictions that our models are making. So one thing we found is that our model finds places where people are, even if those places don't have actual data of people living there in the census. So these 3 areas, Oak Ridge National Lab, Anniston Army Depot in Alabama, and Walt Disney World, our model is predicting that a lot of people live there, where in fact the census says there's nobody there, but obviously there's very strong signal for human activity in these 3 places. So this is just one example of how we can look at the predictions that our model are making and get some information from it. Thanks, and I hope to see you at my poster.